If you're a UFC fan, you've probably heard of the great Dana White. As the current president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, he has helped it grow into a multi-million-dollar empire globally. But being the president has been super profitable for him, and he's also managed to acquire quite the fortune over the years. So let's look inside the $500 million lifestyle of Dana White. White was born in Manchester on July 28, 1969, to an Irish-American family. He lived with his parents and sister in a humble home and developed a strong love for boxing when he was 17 years old. During this time, he also got involved in some illegal activities with a mobster named Whitey Bulger. He owed the mobster some money and kept getting threatened by him. As a result, White had to escape the country and leave for Las Vegas so that he could finally be rid of the mobster's influence over his life. But even though he left his town, he kept practicing his boxing skills and took part in a range of competitions. And after joining UFC, he kept climbing the ranks until he became the president of the organization. Houses. White's house is quite literally fit for a president. Even though he owns a range of properties all over the world, the one worth mentioning is his estate in Las Vegas. It's clear that the former UFC champion has a soft spot for the city after he fled to it when he was younger. White bought a total of 3 properties next to each other in the city. The combined cost for these was a whopping $6 million. But he ended up bulldozing all 3 properties in 2017. Even though his decision might seem like a strange one, White had something really fun in mind. He wanted to build the ultimate bachelor pad for himself. This pad has everything the fighter will ever need. One of its main highlights is the huge gaming room in the house. This is because White isn't afraid to embrace video games. He even appeared as a choosable character in the EA Sports game UFC 3. So it's no surprise that the businessman has a room dedicated to old-school arcade machines in this mansion. The room also includes games like Street Fighter and table football that keeps him and his family amused. The house also includes a large basketball court which has the Boston Celtics logo branded on the shiny floors. And the list of fun amenities doesn't end here. The UFC president also has a beautiful swimming pool adorning the main grounds, which is great for pool parties and lazy summer evenings, especially because Las Vegas has such wonderful weather that's perfect for swimming sessions. White has a love for large open spaces, so it's no wonder that the house has gorgeous extended balconies attached to the master suites. They also have the most perfect views of sunsets and nature. Cars, motorbikes, and jets. It's pretty clear that White loves his extensive collection of vehicles, and he owns all kinds of them. Some of his favorites include the legendary Harley Davidson. Davidson himself gifted White the motorbike in 2014 because he knew how much the fighting champion enjoyed classic motorbikes. One of the most distinctive features of the vehicle is the UFC logo on its side. And with a starting price of £20,000, it's definitely not a cheap bike. After getting the Davidson as a gift, White immediately got his hands on the Ducati bike. This was a popular model and also featured a tailored UFC insignia on its side. He also invested in an MV Agusta F4, which was a limited edition model and was worth around £23,000. The Agusta F4 has a top speed of 193 miles per hour and rides like the wind. With a definite need for speed, White loves his cars to be as fast as his bikes. And as a young man, he even dreamed of owning a Ferrari. But due to his humble background, he wasn't able to afford one for himself for a very long time. But the young White had vowed to himself that he would treat himself to an expensive Ferrari if he ever got rich. And that's exactly what he did. His first car was a classic red Ferrari Testarossa, which was made famous by Tom Selleck in Magnum P.I. This car was first released in 1989 and cost a staggering £180,000. White loved the brand so much, he decided that he wanted another Ferrari for himself. This is why he also added a black Ferrari Spider F430 to his collection. This car cost him around £210,000 and has a beautiful 4.3-liter V8 engine that is capable of powering the F430 from 0 to 60 in just 3.6 seconds. But even though White has all these cars now, he drove a fairly humble car before he was worth $500 million. His first ever car was the Datsun B210. But even though people hold their first cars in high regard, White wasn't a huge fan of his Datsun, and has even admitted to hating it in the past. This is because the car didn't work smoothly and cost him a lot of money and patience. He also revealed how the muffler continuously fell off the exhaust, and the sound it would make would be excruciating. Today, the Datsun B210 is considered a vintage motor. and somewhat of a collector's item. However, it reminds White of where he was when he first bought it, not living the high life he's since become accustomed to. White is also invested in a muscle car, like every other proud American. He owns a 1971 Plymouth Barracuda, and it is reportedly one of his most prized possessions. This car goes from 0 to 60 in just 5.8 seconds and has a top speed of 155 miles per hour. And it isn't just White who has all the nice cars. As a motor aficionado, he's also made sure that his sons have nice rides too. So when they turned 16, he bought each of them cars. White bought eldest son Aiden a customized, tripped-out DefenderWorks V8 70th anniversary edition for around £180,000, a collector's item with just 150 made. And when Dana Jr. celebrated his milestone birthday, he was treated by his dad to a BMW M6 with a price tag of around £125,000. This car is capable of reaching 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. But it isn't just cars that White owns. As the boss of a billion-dollar franchise, he also owns a private jet. He usually takes his Bombardier jet on travels with him. Ranging from 3 million to 90 million pounds, this machine is the ultimate indulgence. Love life. The UFC boss has had a fairly simple love life. White met his wife Anna when they were both in 8th grade. They became childhood sweethearts and decided to get married as soon as they graduated. The pair got hitched in 1996 and have 3 children now. They have 2 sons, Dana Jr. and Aiden, and a daughter named Savannah. White is a considerate father and tries his best to keep his family out of the media spotlight. This is also because he wants them to have their own lives instead of being tailed by the paparazzi all the time. Charity. White has also been a firm believer in the power of philanthropy. This is why he's made sizable donations over time since he joined the UFC. In 2010, he donated $50,000 for a liver transplant to a Thai girl who was the daughter of MMA instructors in Thailand. He has also donated $100,000 to his former high school to fund renovations to their athletic facilities. And in 2017, he donated a whopping $1 million to the victims of the Las Vegas shooting. Recently, in 2019, after UFC 242, Khabib Nurmagomedov raised $100,000 for Dustin Poirier's charity, the Good Fight Foundation. White followed, and also donated $100,000 to Poirier's charity foundation as a goodwill gesture. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel to receive more engaging business content like today's video. Hey, if you enjoyed our video, you just have to watch this one.